Welcome back to Creating Anarchy, everybody. It's your girl Brosia in China, and today we are talking about body count.
So let me ask you, does body count matter to you?
Um, so I'm like on the fence because no, right? But mentally they fuck with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense for me.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I'd be lying if I said that I think body count doesn't matter, but I'm not saying it does. I think it's like for me, it's circumstantial, and I think there's like things to take into consideration for sure.
Everything is circumstantial for you, bitch. Like
Yeah,
it's
but I mean,
circumstantial.
it is because there's like so it's for me, it's like so much more in depth than just like what's your body count. You
Yeah,
know what
no,
I mean?
absolutely. Yep. The way you carry yourself, all that. You still sound a little funny.
And let me try without my earphones.
Yeah.
Does it sound better?
Oh my God, so much better.
No, because my AirPods.
I know, but it was definitely the AirPods. Did you try switching them to different ones?
No.
Okay, because my right one been tripping, but my left one works good. So maybe that's a thing for you. Hold
Sounds
on.
normal to me.
I be Nano in the comments. You sound good now. You put a new one in?
Yeah, put one in.
Okay, you sound good. I be Nano in the comments said, put your body count out there from now. Go. You first, China.
You know what's so funny? I have no shame in my body count. You know what's so funny is literally when I was discussing this topic with somebody, the first thing they said is somebody's gonna ask you your body count. And I was like, no, they're not.
Do you know, yesterday someone said the same to me. Like, are you going to talk about yours? Like, it's nobody's business, but yeah, that's funny. All right, so go ahead. Nano wants to know yours.
My body count is not up for discussion because I don't think that it matters.
Body count doesn't matter.
But I will tell you this: if I get with my friends, I'm definitely not up there with numbers. And I've had the same sexual partner for over a decade, well, about a decade, and no infidelity on this side. So that's
you know.
I mean,
I'm
1.5.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she was telling me, we were talking about body count. We were talking about this, whatever. And she was like, mine's is really, really high. She actually wanted to come on and talk about how she has no shame and how high hers is for her age. But yeah, so I told her mine, and she's like, oh, girl, that's low. And I'm like, wow. So not that mine is like nearly high, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of people, like you said, like you could stand around all your friends and be like, oh, mine's is low, because like a lot of girls are like way more up there than mine. And I'm not knocking them. It's like, girl, do your thing. But it's just like, that's definitely a thing. Jason Washington said also, do women count sexual encounters with other women into body count? I don't. It would go higher for me.
And yeah, for sure. A lot of men actually are in the comments saying if it doesn't matter, then why mention it? I mean, I can sit here and tell you guys, I'm not gonna let you peer pressure me into telling you. I just feel like because of my beliefs on it, if I sit here, if like by the end of the episode, how I believe, you guys will see why I'm not gonna tell it to you. Because at the end of the day, it does not matter to anybody that I'm not having sex with. If I'm not having sex with you, why am I gonna share it with 27 people? You get me? Like, it's not your business. But for me, coming from somebody who I don't think that I do have a high body count, it does matter to me whether it's a male or a female. Like, in certain aspects. Is it a deal breaker for me? No. But if I get with a man who has a high body count, or even a woman,
well, you know something about that? Men lie about their body counts often. Like, you would think a woman would lie more because, that's what they say. Everyone might lie, right? at some point
Mm-hmm.
about it. But I think men really like to seem more player. They lie about how high the number is, and it's not even as high. Like I've had a dude tell me, oh, it's like 300, as if I was supposed to be like impressed, and I was like disgusted. And then I
Yeah.
had someone else tell me like, oh, it's almost 100, maybe in the hundreds, I'm not sure. Like, you're lying. Like, they be fucking lying. And granted, while there are some people out there like that, I just like, shut up. You're not even counting that long. Like, and if you are, why are you counting that long? Like, sex is a sport. Like,
I
all right,
feel
I'm on
like,
number 223 right now.
yeah.
Like, what?
Why?
Like,
Yeah, like why? If you're going that high at some point, like why are you even like counting?
how do you
Um,
know that that number is what the number is? You're lying. I don't give a
I mean,
fuck.
how would you feel if you're dating? Okay, we're damn near 30. You're dating somebody, and he's asking you, "Oh, well, what's your body count?" Like for me, the question itself is like juvenile. Like that's a question I asked when I was in like high school, like like when I was a teenager, a child. Like I don't see myself ever dating somebody at this age or in the future and asking them, well, what's your body count? Like, if anything, it's have you slept with anybody I know? Like, maybe as
Yeah.
far as that, but
Is that a
I
deal
don't know.
breaker for you?
What?
Someone coming and having quite a few partners, and it happens to be somebody that you know.
No. I mean, obviously, if it's like my friend and my friend has an issue with it, like there was feelings involved and they dated, like that's a deal breaker. I'm not gonna have feelings with somebody that my friend has feelings for or past with, but if you, I don't know, it's hard because my partner now that I have is
Oh
got
yeah.
around. Yeah, we talked about this
Yeah.
as like a, but I definitely did my rounds like to make sure there was no feelings involved and
Yeah,
all
you
that,
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Can I get some podcast said you just answered the question, body count must matter if you are uncomfortable talking about it.
Okay, are you comfortable talking about it? You gonna give us your number?
Me?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about I mean, it's like I think I've given my entire life to this podcast at this point. I think there's nothing that I have not told everyone about my sex life, my personal life. So it's like, at what point do I stop, right? But I'm not ashamed of my number again. Um, we'll get more into it. I'm not going to talk about mine if you're not going to talk about yours. Like we already
No, I
established
mean,
that thing too.
I won't even lie. Like my number for me, like, is not high. I don't need like a bunch. Like I don't need more than my hands to count it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But when I think about the time that I was having sex with my those sexual partners, it's
Hmm.
not a time. It's not something that I would do now because I've been with my partner for like a decade. So all of my sexual partners that I have was in a shorter period of time. You know what I mean? Like now I see myself as somebody who does take things into accountability, um,
Yeah.
like spiritual energy exchange, just giving my I don't know, like for me it does not matter to put it into one big group. And I think that's where like a lot of people like if you look at like
Hold
Andrew
on, you're
Tate.
losing me now. What do you
uh,
mean one big group? It is one big group. It's just your body count.
no, I'm
All the
talking about
people.
one big group as saying like, oh, a woman's body count matters. But I don't
Oh,
think it's just that you take into consideration. Like if you look at some people like Andrew Tate, he'll say that a woman has no value if she has a high body count. Well, who are you to put a group of women into a box and value them as a group? For you, maybe for you, you don't want your partner to have a high body count. Maybe that puts a value on what you think for a partner for you, which that's fine. My problem is when people try to put it as a group like, oh, women have no value if they have a high body count. No, a partner for you has no value. But to put it, some women and men are spiritually liberated, like or sexually liberated. You
sexually.
get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's okay. Like for some people, they don't care, and for others, they do.
You skated around that bitch.
Yeah,
Like,
bitch.
you
My
like,
bad. I was ready to get on this.
oh shit. So the question that we got earlier about counting women, do you think that that counts? Because like we both agreed that we don't count the women we've slept with when we do our body counts. would you say it's unfair for us to do that? Because if a man slept with another man, shouldn't he include that in his body
Well,
count?
I think a lot of people will say that body count is considered on penetration. So, I mean, I think
So,
that's where that comes in. If I had a woman asking me, I'll ask, like,
so
what?
you'll tell her, oh, my body count with women is this, and my body count with men is this.
Yeah, I wouldn't like put them into a group because there's not the same kind of penetration going on.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, penetration is penetration. I've come from a woman's fingers, so
Yeah,
isn't
but I
that a
don't think
body
that
count as
men.
sex?
I mean, I think the body count thing is more so with. Okay, let's be honest. The body count thing is a topic for men. It is a topic that is discussed by men, brought up by men numerous times. If men didn't really care, if men didn't feel like they needed to bring it up, women, we wouldn't be talking about it. So I think like for the topic itself, in general, when it comes from men, it's penetration by a penis. You get me? Like if you wanted to count all the times that I've hooked up with somebody, that's not a body count for me. Like if there was no sex going on. You know what I mean?
But
So
okay, okay, I guess I feel that, but sex with a woman is different than sex with a man, so it's still sex. Whereas in with a man, you're doing those things, and it's kind of just like, oh, uh, second base, I guess, like.
yeah,
So
I
I
mean
get,
like
I'm just saying, I
it,
understand how a man could be like, okay, well, also how many women? Because like you out here with both of them, and you ran both of them numbers up a little bit. Um,
if I'm gonna answer how many men I've had sex with, I'll answer how many women I've had, but I would never put them in the
Include
same
them.
category.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like it
same,
would
I guess,
definitely
because I
be.
just never thought to do that. Like, I don't know. But just let me be said, I stopped having the body count convo after my freshman year of college. Shit don't matter. Telling me about your whole phase always makes me feel the way, so I don't ask. I feel that. And let me just say, um, I am so for women having a hoe phase. And that's for lack of a better term for it, like call it what you want. But um, I think that women should explore different sex partners at some point in her youth. Like that's what they say college is like the prime time for that. Don't settle down in college and stuff, like I don't think that you should just, men are like, oh, I want a woman who's a virgin when I marry her. And it's like, that is such a motherfucking risk. Like, I have a friend who was telling me that her man wants to marry her and she's been with him for 4 years and he's the only person she slept with. And she has this urge, she's in her like mid 20s now. She has this urge to see other people, but she doesn't want to because she's committed and she loves him. And, like, I just feel like women shouldn't have to go through that, like, feel of like, oh, now I'm 40 and I regret that this is the only person I slept with, but I'm in love with him, so I don't want to leave and step out. Like, explore, and figure out what you like and, like, have experiences before you settle
I
for
think
just
that's
one
for
dick.
yeah, I think that's for men too though. Like if a man is only getting with one female, two females, and you know he's married now, I think that he's definitely going to have an urge to wander. So I definitely think that people should gain experience before settling down. But I mean, if you know your person is the one, of course, whatever. But I mean, I've never said, oh, I'm going to wait until marriage. That was never a thing for me. I can
Yeah.
respect people that do, but I do get the whole having experience thing. But let me ask you this. So do you think, because I know a lot of people will say, well, like for me, I don't think if somebody has a high body count, that means that they have sexual experience.
Oh, you read that comment?
No, I didn't.
A high body count means well experienced as long as you weren't getting gang bang type shit. So, um, I mean, if you have a high body count, you are obviously fucking sexually experienced, right? Like if you're a woman and you slept
Yeah.
with 20 fucking people, and it doesn't you know, determine your experience. You could have had sex with two people multiple times and be just as experienced as that person. But
exactly.
I mean, it would scream your experience to me, right?
Yeah,
like
but maybe your experience laying on your back. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, that's a fact. I didn't
You're having sex with 20 people, and it's like, what type of relationship are you
what type of
having with
sex
this
are you
person?
having though? That you just want to lay there the whole
like,
time?
But what I'm saying is, the first time you meet somebody and you guys hook up, you're not as comfortable as you are with somebody you've been with for a year and have been sexually connected and growing with and comfortable with. I mean, if I had a one night stand, there's no way I'm doing something with a one night stand the way I'm doing something with somebody I've been with for months.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
I've never had a one night stand. However, I guess that's the difference between you and I, because when I go to have sex, I'm gonna perform. So,
I mean, I've never had a one night stand too, but I feel like if people think it's a misconception.
I've had sex with people I'm not in love with, but I still go through the whole experience. But I get what you're saying. I get your point, but I personally don't explore that way. I just like to have fun. If I'm gonna go have sex, I want to have fun with it. You know.
So
entirely.
you think that? So do you think a high body count means that you're more experienced than somebody who
No, I
doesn't?
don't think it means you're more experienced. I think it means you have experience. But I don't think
with
it means
multiple dicks
anymore. Yeah, but you have experience, because if you're having sex with all those people, like, odds are you're not on your back the whole time. Like, if you're doing that, you're obviously sexually liberated, or you're a hoe. And people like that just don't like lay up and, all right, I'm just gonna lay here, do your thing. I'm gonna lay here, do your thing. I'm gonna lay here, do your thing, like over and over and over. Like, most people like that are like, let's have a good fucking time. Like, most of those people want to have sex. They want to be doing what they're doing. Like, and I think there is a huge difference between a sexually liberated person and a hoe. And let's say both these bitches got 20 body counts, right? Which I guess that's what people consider high. It's what I consider high. I consider that very high for both genders, but whatever. They both got 20 bodies, and this one is a hoe, but this one is just someone who is casually having sex with people safely. I think that there are two different ways to do that, and I definitely separate the two. And most people will call me crazy for saying this, like, oh, they both got 20 bodies, they both is out here fucking casually, they're both hoes. But it's about the way that you carry yourself. It's about the way that you were having sex with these people. Did you meet all these people same night and you're like, all right, we're having sex tonight, and now tomorrow I'm gonna go have sex with him, and then the next day I'm gonna have sex with him? Or did you like, all right, we're not exclusive, but we're fucking? That didn't work out. Now me and him aren't exclusive, but we're fucking. Like, I want to have sex with who I want to have sex with, and that should be okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know me, I'm big on it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So it's like, if you're just going to parties and just like throwing that ass, like whoever's gonna catch it, then you know, like
fucking all the homeboys, the whole squad, like, that's when it's like, okay, bitch, you moving like a hoe, calm down.
Yeah.
What do you, speaking of what I said, what do you consider a high body count?
Well, how old are you? I mean, 20 is not a high.
All right, we're gonna factor all this stuff in.
I mean, but that's for me. Like, okay, bitch, I'm almost 30, right? So somebody who's 40 tells me that they've had a fucking high body, they've had like a body count of 40. To me, at first I'd be like, damn, that's high. And then I'm like, oh wait, hold up, you averaging like 2 bodies a year. So it's really not that high. But if my 20-year-old cousin tells me she don't have catch 40 bodies, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So like for me, it's, and bitch, it's like you caught 10 bodies and you only been fucking for a year. Like, that's a high body count. But like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that people, like, a lot of people are like, what's your body count? What's your body count? Well, first off, how long you been fucking and how old are you? Because like, if somebody is not in a relationship, but they don't have no right to go out and have sex, if they don't have a significant other, they can't have sex because it's a high body count. That don't make sense.
That's my point. Yeah, it's like you're gonna, and then it doesn't work out with this person, so now I can't have sex no more, or else my body count goes up. Like, who the fuck
Yeah.
is going to sit around and worry and think about that? And that even goes to relationships. Say someone is just always in a relationship. And I know bitches who like go through relationships, and granted that hasn't been us, but like a lot of women are like, okay, it didn't work out with this one. Now I love him, and then I love him, and they're going through these 1-2 year relationships over and over. They're having sex with them. So now this body count is going up, but they're not being hoes. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I personally feel like body count shouldn't matter to people, because it's sex. Like at the end of the day, and you could have sex with one person 1,000 times and it's still a body, or you can have sex with
1,000
20
people.
different. Well, come on, don't be literal, bitch. But you know, like 20 different people, and it's still the same in a sense of having sex with that one person 20 times. Like, it's sex. It doesn't change the way the vagina feels. It doesn't change the way the dick feels. People should just roll
You
with
think it
it.
changes the value of a person, like a value, the value? Like if you got with a man or a woman that said, I've only been with 2 people, would you feel better and more
No, I
like
would be
not
concerned. I
surprised?
would be worried.
Okay, not 2,
Um,
maybe 5 versus somebody who has 40.
I mean, it's always gonna seem better. You have a low, like, okay, cool. Like, wow, you've been out here like chilling, you know, that's comforting. I don't have too many people to think back on. But I mean, I've had people, like I said, the dude that told me, oh, I fucked 300 people, like, you think I didn't fuck him? Because he said he fucked 300 people? No. Um, so like it just, maybe it changed his value to me. I looked at him like, oh, he's a fucking hoe. But it didn't make me like judge him in a sense of like, oh my God, ew, I'm not touching you. It's like, if you're being safe, do your thing. That's how I
Okay,
feel
so,
today.
but would it make you question whether or not you want to be serious with somebody who has this high body count? Because there's things to consider. Does this person, can this person not be alone? Does this person have hypersexuality? Is this person um, have issues with infidelity? Like, do they have a high sex drive? They can't control themselves? You know what I mean? Like, do those things come into?
To be honest, those are really good questions that I've never even taken into account. Like, I've never been like, wow, you know, like, but granted, I've only been in 2 serious relationships. So, in my first one, I don't think that there's too many women in South Florida that I know that hadn't had him. So, um, and granted, like, we were kids when we met. So, I mean, I guess I was early on for him, but still, it was like a long process. So he slept with multiple women, and I didn't be like, oh, because you did that, it didn't make me love him any less, you know. So I can't say. I would be lying if I tried to put a real answer onto that, because I'm for the person, and it's like, if we vibing and we connecting and I feel you, and you tell me, oh, I have 100 people, 100 bodies on me, it's like, all right, well, now you got 101. Like, I don't
No,
know.
so for me, those things do come in and come into consideration, and they only come into consideration now, like as an adult, because I've realized like the men or even the women that I've got into relationships with that do have a higher body count do have an issue with infidelity, with um hypersexuality, to, you know what I mean? Like those are the type of people that I see that do have issues with that scenario. Mostly being men, because I've dated men and women, but I won't say only men. You know what I mean? But I think that that's something to take into accountability, and that's why I say, for me, body count does matter, but is it a deal breaker? No. Is it the only thing that matters? No. You know what I mean?
So when you say it matters, but it's not a deal breaker, what are you saying? Because
Okay,
uh,
so if there's a bunch of red flags and you got a high body count,
no, we're not talking about red flags though. We're talking about somebody who you are feeling, but they have a high body count, like I just said.
yeah, but if they have red flags along with the high body count, I take it more into
Well,
consideration.
red
Now, if
flags to
they're,
me matter more than a body count. So you can't like, You can't
Yeah, but
put the
there's,
two in together. Like I
you
prefer you
definitely
to have a high body
can.
count than all these red flags. Like I'm running away from the red flags before I run away from you saying you have a high body count.
I didn't read a comment. No, for me, it's I think I take it all in consideration. I'm not just gonna judge somebody on this one thing. Body count. Okay, cool. Um, are you out on the weekends? Do you got a lot of female friends? Are you not texting me back? Like, or is all your attention on me? Like, what were these scenarios like relationships? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
All right, sis,
that's what
I
I
hear
mean.
you, but those two things, I guess what I'm saying is it's almost like a little bit off topic because it's like, of course, even without a high body count, are all your female are your friends females? Are you out on the weekends? Are you not texting me back? Those things come into play regardless with five bodies, right?
Yeah, but I would trust you more if you don't have a high body count. I'm gonna trust you more if you're not a hypersexual person. I'm
So
not
it
gonna
means you're
sit here.
hypersexual 100% if you have a high body count.
I mean, if you depending on how old you are and you have a high body count, then what are you doing all this time, fucking all these people in such a short period of time? You don't got no self control.
You're single and you're having sex. You're doing you. I think we definitely differ with our views here because
So you don't
I'm
think
ready.
so? Like, what is your take on that?
On what? I just told you. I like
You don't think it matters at all? Like,
it's not that it doesn't matter at all.
so
There's
when
things
does it
that
matter?
did you fuck a lot of my friends?
So that's
Um,
it.
am I gonna walk into a space and everyone in there having had sex with you? Um, I mean, were you using protection? Were you being safe? How often do you get tested? Like, what are the circumstances under this? Like I said, I'm all for sexually liberated people. Then there's hoes.
But
So
that's the same thing that I'm saying. There's other things to take into consideration. Now, if he tells you he's had sex with a bunch of people and he was using protection, but then you find out he wasn't using protection, that's like a.
you're going too deep though. That's what I'm saying.
But
It's very you can go way below the surface or you can keep it like black and white. And I'm trying to keep it black and white so we don't like because there's 100 things we can say on all of our topics. It's like, well, what about this? Let's twist this into this. Like I'm trying not to do that.
well, I
Because
mean,
how would I
I'm not trying to twist anything. But my thing is that's how I feel like the whole body count thing is. People make it to be black and white for their own satisfaction, for their own gain. That's what men try to do to devalue women is literally, oh, high body count. What's your high body count? What's your high body count? Why aren't you breaking this up so that you can see how it doesn't matter what a high body count, how it's like circumstantial. And you go on to these podcasts and all these other topics that people want to talk about, they make it very much black and white. And for me, it's not. It's not black and white. So I guess that's why like I try to get into so much like detail about it. It's I don't know.
well, I'd like to know your take, but we'll wait for that on minus the red flags that would be red flags with or without a high body count because you kind of didn't go there and I want you to. But before that, because you have a son, I want you to answer this question. Would you want your son to be with a woman who has a high body count?
Um I wouldn't care. If that's up to him. That's his choice. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know their relationship. I've been in plenty of relationships where the people I'm around
Let's
don't agree.
let's just say
So
she's the girl that kind of is, known by the other moms playing spades. When your son's 18, we all get together and play spades, and the moms are sitting around talking about this one girl, and then your son fucking brings her home like, Mom, this is my girlfriend.
I'm gonna be like, oh no, baby, you too young for girlfriends.
The girl.
No, I mean I'm gonna have the talk. You know, I mean I've already started introducing the talk to my kids, or well, not my kids, but my son, because kids are fast. But I mean, I wouldn't stress them about it because I feel like the more you stress a kid about it, the more they're gonna do it anyways. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you can't date her. I just put them up on game. Be careful, you know, like you said, if this girl knows if she's homie hopping, like I know you want to talk about it, that's a red flag. If she's homie hopping, like your friend,
Oh
your
yeah,
best friend,
that's
your
definitely,
cousin,
that's a deal breaker. Like, oh, you
yeah,
you fucked my cousin? No, 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 no,
this
no.
ain't your girlfriend. It's your girlfriend for like 2 weeks, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm trying to just catch up on some of the comments. So we're
yeah,
like,
let's give some shout outs. We got little lady here.
someone
You
said
know,
20 is not high. So that, okay, let's get into that. I'm actually going to pull up the answers that we got. Because to me, I just think maybe because of my number, I'm like, oh, 20 is high. Because I already be like, for my number, like, oh, slow down. But like 20 seems high to me.
no, it seems high to me too, but I wouldn't definitely be like, oh my God, 20, because like the older I get, the more like,
Well, I lost my virginity
like
14
more
years
shit.
ago. So if I had 20 bodies, I would feel some type of way, I guess. About me, personally,
Let's
me.
take a
I
shot.
get
It's been a
bitches
while.
going
If you guys
over.
want to see us take a shot, drop some black hearts.
Okay. Before we take the shot, I want to read some of the numbers. So I had made a post that said, what do you consider a high body count? C. Brooks said under 25, like age, 10, over 25, 20. So under 25, 10 is a high body count for someone. I'm not going to read everyone's name. Someone said 25 plus. Someone said anything more than me. Someone said same as her age, which that was like interesting. Someone said 10 and up. Let's be real, them double digits mean you was in the mix. And then someone said over like 50, 60, because nowadays people having 10 to 15 ain't high.
I agree.
So,
Like, I agree.
so,
I mean, like,
so
I
you
think,
think that 50, 60 is what you consider a high body count?
I mean, I definitely consider 50 or
Well,
60 a high
it's
body
definitely high,
count.
but that's where
Yeah.
you start. That's where you start the number for you.
Oh, no. No, I don't. But I agree that, like, I know I read online, you know, because I was trying to find, like, statistics, and there wasn't anything that was, like, set in stone. But I can get with a group of people, and they definitely need more than just their hands to count who they've had sex with. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I know nowadays, like body count is definitely not what it used to be.
I mean, because we're adults and we don't look at it the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so we did have one comment that said for a woman above 20. So I messaged this person and I said, so tell me what's a high body count for a man, since that's how you feel. And he said he pleads the fifth, which I found hilarious because how dare you come and attack and put a number on women, but you won't even talk about what's high for a man. That's crazy.
Let's take this shot really quick because I got something I want to bring up because you said that. But I know once we do it, we're gonna get into it.
Cheers.
Cheers. So speaking of that, men and this double standard that it matters for a woman but not for a man because a man is on the prowl and the woman is giving, and the woman is the lock and the man is the key, bitch. What do you think about that?
Oh, let's touch on that. I know that a lot of us seen that Twitter video, that video that was going around that basically what she said. What exactly did they say? Like nobody
Um,
wants a lock that everyone has the key for, right? But you want the key to open every lock.
yeah.
These are referring to dicks and vaginas, my people. How do I feel about that? I feel like that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard when it comes to this topic. I feel like it is an excuse for men to be able to go and fuck and do what they want, and us women to sit and be nuns and not explore our own sexuality, I think it's dumb. I think it's fucking stupid. And whoever made that, I think, was just trying to swim around saying that it's okay for a man to be a hoe, but a woman can't.
Yeah, I get the logic behind maybe somebody saying it, because like I said, for me, I wouldn't want a woman or a man that, you know, has been with around the block with a lot of people. However, I think a lot of men use it for their own gain, for their own, I don't even know like how to say it, but like to be able to say, oh, I want a clean woman, but I want to be able to do whatever I want, which is very like narcissist in a way, I would like to say. Like it's like very much like, I'm a man, I can do what I want, but you're a woman, so you, like you said, you got to be a man.
Exactly, that fucking double standard. And
yeah,
get the fuck out of here. We're all human. There's no, I'm a man, so I'm allowed to do this, but you can't, or you look bad. No, if it's a bad thing, we both look bad if we do it equally. Mm-hmm. Like, period. I seen a comment that said, oh, where did it go?
If you guys have questions or even comments that you
drop them in the box, because Money Mason, you are not a ghost today. I was about to read your comment and then we moved on, and then the comments kept going, so I can't find it right now, and I was looking for it. Okay, where the fuck is it? I'm ignoring some of them because okay, I don't see it. But it says something like, I'm gonna get attacked for this, but a woman having a high body count is worse than a man having a high body count. What do you feel about that?
I think that probably comes from somebody who uses it for their own gain. Like I said, it's different, but how is it different? I mean, these are,
it's not different because they think because they have a dick and nothing, you know, like it's just going in something. But a lot of men tend to think that a woman's vagina gets loose from having sex. It does not work like that. So in what way is it worse for a woman to have, we'll say, since everyone says 20 is not a high number, have 40 bodies and a man who has 40 bodies? How is it not equal?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, somebody. Because make the fuck sense.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, I agree. Like, I think that a lot of people that use that excuse, like I said, they use it for their own gains, to be able to say they could do what they want to do, but their partner can't. Like, don't get me wrong. If somebody says, "Oh, hey, you know, I want to start fresh with somebody. I don't want somebody that has a bunch of high body count." I don't knock people that want that type of partner. That's fine. But when you go around and you start putting what a woman's value or a man's value on a body count, I feel like you've got way more going on subconsciously and internally, and you're using it to just for your own shit. Like, I don't agree with it. Like, I just don't. That's where I feel like it's a problem, is when people try to say women aren't valued if they have this high body count. Well, nobody said you had to fuck her. Nobody said you had to date her. You had to marry her. If that's not your type, keep moving it on. I don't know why it's such like a big topic, even though we're making it a topic, but we're making it a topic because it's such a big topic. If that makes sense.
To talk about how it shouldn't be a fucking topic.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So it's just one of these things that I don't know. Okay. I just can't.
So
I read something. Let me. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
okay. Let me. It says, men want a woman with low body count because they are insecure about size and performance and worry they won't measure up to a woman's experience.
Oh, it could be like an intimidation thing. I like that. And I could feel that. For sure. I read something that said women who are women who have high body counts are mentally unstable, and they lack commitment. Oh, what the fuck did it say? I didn't save it, and I wish I did, because it was like, you sound so dumb. It was on the thread, and everyone came for this man. But he basically was saying that women who fuck a lot have commitment issues and daddy issues, and it's the reason they can't commit, and that's the reason that they fuck everybody. So you should fear having a partner who has a high body count, because they won't be able to commit to you.
I don't think that high body count has anything to do with, in some circumstances, like I said, it's the way you do it. So it's like, I do think that a lot of women do want a man, the love of a man and the affection, and some of that does come with daddy issues. But they say the same thing for strippers, and I know strippers that have great dads and they out there making money. So you know what I mean? Like, that's not for everybody. For some, yeah, sure. I'm sure some of them have trauma. I'm sure some of them just want to be loved. I'm sure some of them, but that's the same for men who have high sex drive and can't be in a committed relationship and feel like it's justifiable for them to have sex with who they want and a woman can't. What happened to you that made you feel like you're so much superior than a woman?
Yeah, exactly. We had a comment that said society glorifies women being promiscuous today. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. But I think it's not glorifying a woman being promiscuous. I think it's glorifying women trying to just fucking be equal and being in their sexual energy.
It's just
like,
women being loud not? Because
yeah,
we've been doing the things that we want to do. I know I have. It's always been such a, oh, if you do this, you're this. If you do that, you're that. So we just quietly do it instead. Mm-hmm. Now it's women, oh, I don't give a fuck. If you could do this, I could do it, because we are equal. Like, I don't look at you as superior to me, or you could do this and I can't because you have a dick and I have a pussy. That's crazy. And then the same person said that is because getting sex is different for men than it is for women. Explain how. Sex is sex. You're creating a energy transfer with somebody when you're having sex. It's still penetration, and yes, while you're putting something inside, you're still putting a part of you inside of someone else. Like, mm-hmm. It literally is no different.
I think men are affected just as much as women by having high sex, a high body count. 100%. So like, for sure, the energy exchange. Not even that. Like, a lot of men turn to sex, and that's with prostitutes, with different partners, all these things, and alcohol or drugs, because of depression and trauma that they've put in a box. So it's like, for the same reason you guys like to say women are doing this and that, like, y'all ain't doing it for the right reason. And you know, there's this thing that's like, oh, well, men are going out to like, it's not as easy for men to have sex with women as it is for women to have sex with men, and that's why it's different. Like, it's easier for a woman to go up to a man.
No, it's because a man will fuck anything. It is just as easy for us to get, like, we could get sex like that, and y'all could get sex like that, because y'all will go fuck whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, we won't, but that doesn't mean it's harder for either of us to get sex. We are human, like I said. Go pick your one out the bunch, bitch, and do you. It's just that simple.
Pick your poison, bitch.
Yeah, find a mutual fucking attraction, and y'all gonna have sex. Like, and if they don't want to have sex with you, the next person will. It is not that hard.
Mm-hmm. Them DMs ain't gonna work, though. Y'all gonna have to put in some work.
They say that because, never mind. Something. Yeah, never mind. Definitely need a moderator. All right, I finally caught up with all the comments, so we can move on. Oh wait, I do have one in the question box.
Oh, go ahead.
Not gonna lie, if I want to have sex, I'm gonna go do it. And I know females the same way. Whole point of why Drake made Girls Need Love Too, period. Because
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they put
we
this
can
high
fuck
body
who we
count.
want.
Yeah, but they put this high body count on women, but this woman isn't getting, she's a single woman. So she's not supposed to get sexual pleasure because society says women can't have a high body count.
Well, I wanna run it back, right? Because as the conversation carried on, you seemed to come over more on the dark side of things. And when it started, you were like, here. So the question that I asked you earlier, without the red flags and everything, I want to know your answer now.
To what?
To
if body count matters, it does.
Okay, no, not if it matters. We got to that. So to the circumstantial part of it, what makes it circumstantial for you? Not the, oh, are you answering my calls? None of that.
It's not answering your calls. It's just there's other red flags. Like if this person has a high sex drive, like a high sex drive. Like I said, I've had partners who have had high sex, like a high body count, and they ended up being more. They've had more infidelity in the relationship than people who I've dated that don't have a high body count. So I think like people need to take that into consideration. Like it definitely should be like, okay, this person has a high body count. Is it being done correctly, or is it being done because they just fuck whoever's coming, who's ever offering to give them sex? If they're just somebody who's willing to fucking take what's thrown at them, that's not okay. That matters to me.
But what if they're just one of those people when they're single, but they happen to be super loyal when they're not?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like if somebody came up to me and was like, I got a high body count, I'm gonna be like, absolutely not. No, I'm gonna date you, but it's like, okay, like let me just tiptoe into this. Yeah, feel them out. But that doesn't mean anything because, like you said, it means something for me to just have a guard up, but it does not mean enough for me to go out and fucking put this label on people with a high body count. It does not mean for me to say it's a no-go or they have less value. It just means, okay, let me fill them out, whatever. But, you know, somebody with a body count of 2 could be inexperienced and want to experience more. So, I mean, either way, you have to have your guard up. But from personal experience, I have had partners with a high body count be more into cheating and being sneaky than people who don't.
Okay.
And that's for women and men. And if you love sex, that's fine. But I feel like a person who loves sex, if they're not
I'm really big on not grouping things together at the same time because I know a woman, right, who was a hoe. Like, not, oh, I'm sexually liberated. Like, I'm talking about, like, sucking this one's dick and this friend is fucking her, and then you leave with that friend, and like, 2 weeks from now, you're falling in love with this friend, but he just wants to fuck you, so now you fucking this. Like, I'm telling you, like, heavy hoe shit. And she ended up settling down, and didn't cheat and like raised a family and, you know, like changed her whole little sexual dynamic 180. So I mean,
that's beautiful, but do you think that her man doesn't have any type of, I mean, if he does know like her true body count, like do you think
he knows
there isn't any type of like question in the back of his head of if she's ever cheating or doing this, or do you think the relationship lacks respect in a sense?
No.
That's great. I mean,
that's great. Just from my experience and witnessing things. No, I don't think those things exist. So that's why I think like I wouldn't just group people into things. And then it's like, okay, so
but that's
my
what they try
amount
to do.
Of bodies. That's what?
That's what they try to do. They try to group, you know, being a high body count into, like you said, the whole black and white thing. It's a black and white thing. Either you have a high body count and this is it, or you don't and this is it. No, there's so much more to it.
Yeah. Fuck, you made me forget what I was saying.
Sorry.
It's okay, Shawty. Oh, that's what I was saying. Nano said she grew out of her host stage, and it's like she did, and while her host stage lasted a lot longer than the average. I don't even know what the average is. I just know that my little hoe phase was very short lived, and it wasn't that long of a phase, but my bodies came from that little short phase. It was very early on, after losing my virginity, and it was just like, okay, that's a thing, and then, you know, it wasn't a thing. So I just feel like, okay, so because I was doing this back then, I grow into this woman, and now you're going to judge me because of the things that I've done when I was 15, 16, 17 years old, because the number ran up a little bit.
Yeah, but like for me, it's like if I even get with a man in my 30s and his first fucking question to me, or even like it's even a question, oh, well, what's your body count? It's like, why? Why are you asking me this? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the whole body count thing is such a fucking, it's a juvenile fucking question to even bring up in a fucking relationship. If I go into a relationship today, I'm not asking. I don't want to know. I don't care. As long as you're clean and you don't, you know what I mean? You ain't got nothing.
You know, I can't say that I wouldn't ask. I can't, like, I wouldn't, like, oh, we're on a date and let me ask. But, like, we could be a year in and fucking playing Call of Duty together and be like, babe,
how many hoes you fuck?
Yeah, like, I'll just throw it out there, and it'll be just a conversation that I enjoy having. I enjoy knowing, like, oh, who'd you fuck that I know? Like, even if I don't know them, and we're not cool, but, like, I went to high school with them, or, you know, something like that. Like, I don't enjoy those conversations, but I don't mind them, you know? So,
okay, so wait, does it
I
matter
think I would definitely ask.
Does it matter if they've had, like, if they've gotten around the block versus somebody from out of state? Like your homies. I mean, you know, you've dated women and men, so I'm talking about just like in general. Like if you know the whole squad just done been all up in it, like this, and versus somebody who's out of state who has the same high body count, does that matter?
Well, let me just say this. This is gonna sound bad, so I probably shouldn't. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Do it!
Yes. No. Because it'll get these fucking comments going, and they already been pissing me off, and I've been trying not to, like, I've been trying to, you know, keep it in and not cuss people out. So I'm going to just not, but it would matter a difference, right? If you're from out of town and you fucked everybody in your city, bitch, you in my city now, so we good, fresh start. But like I said, as long as it wasn't like close and personal to me, I can deal with someone who's gotten around. Like, as long as we're, you know, vibing and the vibes are right, the connection is right, chemistry's right. I'm not just gonna be like, oh my God, you fucked Stephanie that I went to 7th grade with, and Bianca that I was in freshman year math with. Like, no, I'm not gonna cut you off from that.
I want to know if you fucked, like, the girl you work with. I want to know if you fucked somebody I know that's around. Yes. I want to know, like, you know, if it's in the circle.
You introducing me to her. Did you fuck her?
Like, yeah. Exactly. That's a big one for me. Like, do not introduce me to somebody you fucked and not mention it.
Yeah, that's happened to me, bitch.
I've been in a car ride home driving bitches from the fucking club, and every bitch in the backseat my man done ran through. And I knew it. But I was really like on 95, like, damn, I'm driving home all his past hoes. Like, what the fuck? But
dog.
It didn't bother me. Honesty is great. So it's like, as long as you're not putting me in nobody's face that you've had sex with, that's fine. As long as you're not being friendly with somebody. Like I said, it matters only because for me, it's a thought in my head. Like, it's a thought. You know what I mean? Like, it matters, like, because I take it into consideration. It's not like a deal breaker. It's not something that I care enough about to say I won't be with people. And that's what people try to, like, do the whole, like, debate about. It matters. Yeah, it matters. But how much does it really matter? Because if you love this girl and you find out a year later she's had sex with 100 people, you're in love already.
You know, I think men are weaker than women. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying not to be so sexist. I think most men I think most
How
men
dare
are
men be
weaker.
sexist? But hold up.
Yeah, but let me just, I think most men are weaker than most women. So I think that it is easier for us to accept that our partner has slept with multiple women rather than it is for a man to accept that his partner has slept with multiple men because, it makes you insecure and not even just internally, but with your boys, with your friends. It's like your friends know this dude that she fucked. So now it's like, oh yeah, this nigga, he used to fuck her. And now you feeling a way about your bitch that you in love with and you treating her different because your boys just told you that they know somebody she fucked back in the day. Like men are super insecure. I'm reading these fucking comments, man. Look, see, Ivy Nano, as a man, if your girl got a high body count, you're gonna think about that shit all the time. But why? Like, why are you gonna think about it all the time if you locked in? Like, if you and your bitch is secure and locked in, because that's how I be feeling. Like, oh, I've hung out with bitches that my husband fucked before. Like, and it's been fine.
Oh, I got it. I know. Oh my God. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I swear to God, like, I've said this since I was younger. It's like a woman wants, and I know, like, thinking now, whatever is different. I'm young, but it was like a man wants somebody everybody's had. A man wants a woman that nobody's had that he can get, but a woman wants a man that, everybody's had, but that they can lock down. Like, I used to take pride in fucking locking down a man that used to be like that guy. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah. Like, oh, he fucks bitches, he can't have a girlfriend. Like, for me, it was like, oh, he's not. But like, as an adult, now I'm like, he's got fucking childhood trauma, and he's a cheater, and like a high sex drive. Like, these are things that you gotta like worry about with somebody who is so, I don't know, but that's definitely how I used to think. I can't read them.
Okay. We're gonna take a shot and then come back for part 2.
Okay.
You got your support
You
up
guys
already?
Come back for part 2.
Yeah, everybody come back. And if there's somebody who wants to get on and discuss things with us, maybe give us your point of view, feel free to message us in the comments. All right. Cheers to high body count. All right. We are going to get our friend Damien from Can I Get Some Podcast on here, and he is going to give us I guess you could say the male perspective on how he feels about this whole body count debate. So, let's go.
I wonder if Damien is ready for a shot.
I literally just said that. I was like, do you have something to take a shot with us?
I don't right now. I know how to get down.
How you come on here and don't have a shot, Damien?
Oh man, I've been drunk like the last few days. I need to like chill out. I know what's up.
All right, well, we are gonna take a shot for you.
There you go. Yeah. That's how you do it.
All right.
One for me. I appreciate that.
Cheers to Can I Get Some Podcast.
Yeah. Great topic. That seems like I've been on a panel that's been discussing this like a bunch of times over the last couple of weeks.
I remember we came on yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an interesting thing, and it's like one of the things that you were talking about. Kind of the double standard with it is. I think a fear that's there's two things you said they're pretty spot on. Like number one, about dude worried about is his performance or his size like on par with what she's had before. There's definitely some insecurities there that make it where dudes consistently can make that an issue. But there's also something where dudes are worried about if you're with a woman who separates sex from emotion, then you kind of get worried because she has more access to sex. Because we all know women have sex with who they want, men who they can. Like you said, if your man gets you mad and you like, fuck that dude, I'm gonna fuck Jeff from the job, to get back you have more likelihood than if the dude was like, fuck her, I'm gonna go fuck Susie from the job. It's like there's more likelihood that you would, and it's less likely that you'll get caught by doing it because the dude most likely that Jeff at the job ain't gonna be like, oh, in his feelings. He's gonna be like, cool, I got to smash China. It's all good, you know.
Why it gotta be China?
I mean,
somebody got to smash you, Miss Low Body Count.
you know, I'm just saying, you know, I'm just trying to keep make it relevant. But it's just like, yeah. So it's that's one of the things is because women have more access to it. It becomes more of an issue for both men and women when women exercise their right, that access, or utilize that access to have sex. You know, that's how it's been historically.
But do you think that it's fair for men to put like a value on women just because it's more accessible to us than it is for men?
Well, like, you know, in these circles, men throw a bunch of shit around. They're peer bonding and unable to develop significant attachments and relationships and stuff like that if they have it, or like you said, PTSD from, you know, some people have even thrown that around when it comes to that. People have thrown a lot of reasons why. You know, one of the most popular ones is ensuring fraternity. Like, dudes want to make sure that they got that, the women have got that out of the system so that they don't go and sleep with somebody else, because there's a consequence to it immediately. You can get pregnant, you know, and then, you know, it's a study
Wait
out
a
there.
minute. No, Damien, because a man could go get another woman pregnant.
Yeah, all I'm saying, but the difference between the consequence is if a man gets a woman pregnant is that a woman can bring that baby back home and be like, it's your baby. A dude can't do that, you know, and it's a 33%. They did a study maybe 4 years ago, and it said 33% of men are raising kids that ain't even really theirs, and they don't even know it.
Oh my God, my heart.
So it's just like, that's the thing, that those are some of the things that ensuring paternity and stuff like that. Those are some reasons. I'm not just because I mean, these are just some things what I'm hearing. It's not my viewpoint at all. It's just, you asked the question about why do you think like that. Greater access. Women are willing to, if they get upset with you, use that access to get back with you a lot, because it's a lot easier to do that for women.
So let me say this.
Go ahead.
Considering that, I'm sorry, if you weren't done, keep going.
No.
Forget.
No, I got the next point. Go ahead.
Okay.
He's like,
yeah. We're women, and you say that your point is that we can get it easier, right? So if I have 5 bodies on me compared to 20, what difference does that make of how easy it is for me to go out and get it?
Well, like I said,
what difference does that make for me to go out and get pregnant by another man and bring it home and say, hey, we're pregnant, this is your baby? It doesn't. So that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with body count, though.
No, what they're saying. Hold on, I'll connect it. Is the fact that what they're worried about is the mentality that would allow you to go and sleep with another man if you are you have it to where you detach sex from emotion.
Okay, gotcha.
Sex from love. That's what it is. It's that's what I'm saying. If you have it in your mind that, okay, I can go because I'm mad, because I'm upset with this dude, go smash somebody else, and that other dude don't mean nothing to me. I'm just doing it to fuck with, to mentally, to know I fucked you over. You know, that's what a lot of dudes are kind of worried about. They don't want women that can't bring it back to, okay, there is a difference between the sex I have with emotion attached and the sex I have because it's just a fun thing to do and I have access to all the dick that I want, you know? And like you said, another thing that Charles said was like some of the difference between why is it okay for men? It's not necessarily okay for men, but women have made it okay for men in a sense, because I'm gonna tell you why. Women love men that other women want.
And that's something I brought up. No, I think that's a thing. Definitely.
And when you said that, I thought you sounded crazy too, but keep going.
Hold on.
No, I think that's a thing.
Women love pre-selected men. Women love, like, if you went to a club and you saw a dude standing on his lonesome or whatever, or just kind of just doing nothing, head down, no real game, or you see a dude that's like, all the women are like chopping it up, chatting up, like, what's up with that guy? Why is all these chicks around him?
1,000%, Damien, no cap, want the nigga over in the corner by himself.
Well, you the one off. You the one off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're different. Okay, like, it's not from what we believe, it's what society standards are. If you think about it, a lot of women are, oh, well, he's coming home to me, I'm his wife, I have his kids, we're at home together. And a lot of women think like that. You're not going to catch a man saying the same thing. So I think like a lot of women do take
Listen,
like
if a
pride
man
in
has a
being
lot of
the
women,
wife
of
over
course, though.
And sometimes it
yeah,
ain't
that's
even
what he's
about the
saying
man.
though.
And sometimes the women compete with each other so much they just want to prove they're better than that next bitch.
I'm not
No, but
competing with a bitch. If I gotta compete with a bitch, then I don't want you. Like,
Broja, let's take it off of you. Let's take it to your, take it off of
yeah,
you.
you
but
gotta
we're
think
talking.
big, yeah. You gotta
Talk
think.
about
Don't.
the,
Okay.
let's take it
Okay.
off because
We're
you
not
know
talking
a lot
about
of
Well,
things.
okay, we are
go
talking about me
up.
because someone in the comment just called cap on what I said, and I like promise you,
Broja don't
if a
cap.
man, I don't cap for one. If a man is my type and women are all over him, and I still want him, that's one thing. But if this man is my type with his head down, and this man's my type, and all these bitches is like flocking towards him, I want this one. Like guaranteed, I want that one.
Women love pre-selected men. Men have already been
hear you. I'm
established,
sure
have our higher
statistically.
value to
Yeah.
society. Like if you go into a club,
Wait, I have a question for
women are staring
Broja.
at the VIP in the VIP. They ain't even looking at the regular dudes sitting on the floor. They don't. The dudes that are already been
In
pre-selected
VIP.
by other women is high value.
So wait,
I
my
think the
question for
VIP niggas
Broja
not
is:
that
you
bad.
say you want Buddy that's in the corner. You want Buddy that's in the corner over Buddy who everybody wants. But you say body count doesn't matter, all that shit. So it's like, what if
That has
like
nothing to do with body count, though.
But majority of the men that are in the corner just chilling are not going to be the same men that are willing to throw
How
themselves
are you
out
determining
as men
that?
who are
How
out
are you
like
determining that? You're saying like, okay, so a shy woman ain't fucking a lot, right?
No, I mean, I don't think.
Yeah,
But
that's what
that's a
someone just
choice
said.
by her. That's her choice because
No,
she could have
I'm
access to those
not
men.
saying that. I'm not saying a shy woman's not fucking a lot. I'm sure I have more bodies than China, right? I'm shy, believe it or not. People don't know this about me. I'm fucking shy, right? So what you just said to me is that this nigga in the corner with his head down ain't getting pussy.
I mean,
no, we didn't
because he's
that.
quiet and ducked off. That's kind of what you said when you were like, oh, you say body count don't matter, but the guy over here has less body count than this one. It ain't about body count at that point. It's me saying I don't want to compete with women. So if all the women are flocking over here to this one, he's going to entertain more than one of them. This one's over here by himself. I'm going to go over there and he's going to entertain me.
Yeah, but he's not the dude you're going to find in everybody's face. He's not the dude that you're going to find like trying to show out and do those things.
Okay, so
like
I still
said,
prefer him. That
women have a predisposition to kind of compete with each other. That's why you'll see and I'm gonna bring it down to this because I grew up in the town and it's kind of how it goes down in the town. Like you see like the whole pimp culture or whatever like that. You see these bad chicks with this ugly ass dude, and then a lot of times you don't even like the dude. It's all about they are competing with each other to show them that dude that they are better than the next chick. Women love to compete with it, so they love men who are pre-selected as being top tier by other women, so they can prove to those other women, I am better than you. That's why
I agree. I think that women are very competitive, and it's not even in a relationship basis. It's even in friendship and in school and style. Like in a lot of things, women are more catty than men in general. So it's like I got him. Men want more of the. Nobody had this girl, and I got her, and it's mine. I get where that's coming from. My issue
one
is
of our comments. Go ahead.
My issue is the fact that people try to group it into value. If that's what you want out of a woman, that's fine. But why are you putting a value on women in general based on their body count? Why is that such a concern for men to keep pressing that it's a problem? If that's not what you want, that's fine.
It goes back to the men being insecure. Like real talk though, I ain't gonna, like I said, people throw all these book technical words. They have all these studies about women body count contributing to failed relationships and divorces. You know, all of that is whatever. I think what it comes down to is a dude do not want to know if a woman has 3 bodies and you're number 3, you in the top 3 with the potential of being number 1. If a woman has 33 bodies and you don't know, and you fall at 17, you gotta, you are a little more insecure about what you can do and what you have. And that's what I'm saying. It comes down to, it's a lot of ego-driven shit that's going on there. Because I know women, just like, I think y'all gave an example. If I know a chick, I'm like, this was a hoe. I mean, she got paid to do her thing, and she moved to another city, and she is, like you said, married, kids, whatever, you would never know, PTA, all that. And she's a good person and stuff like that. It's just like, and if you got a, like y'all in Florida, if you got a body count in Florida, you move to LA, you fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
You can start fresh. It resets the clock.
Zero.
And that's what I think it is. And a lot of guys are worried about, like, because dudes can be just as petty. Like, it could be, you could be walking in the grocery store with your man, and a dude who's mad, who he has sex with, be like, oh yeah, you got a good one there. I know. Dudes be there. I've seen a dude do that to another dude, and I felt bad for the dude. He was just like, oh yeah, you with blah blah blah. Oh, she a good one there. I know.
Yep. But I mean, as a man, why let that make you feel like your woman is less than what you saw her as prior to finding that out, like as a man? And I guess that's where the comment that said it's just like, it depends on how you were raised. Because I like, why do you care what the next person's saying? If you have this strong connection with this person, why do you care that they slept with 30 people prior to you? Why do you care that your homeboy is saying, oh, she fucked my homeboy from around the way, and now you're going home feeling all insecure? It's because, like you said, ego driven. Men are ego driven, and now his little ego is fucking sore, and you can't have fucked no more than 2 other people before me, or else you were a hoe. And no, that's just stupid as fuck to me.
Yeah, one thing that's not being said is like you say, a lot of dudes who they want like basically a virgin. They don't want like a low body count, basically a virgin. But women never say that. Women never say, I want basically a virgin dude. Women like experience. Women expect dudes to be like at least capable of what they're doing or good at what they're doing. Know something when they making it happen. So
I would, the old me, Damien, would be like what you just said. I don't want a virgin because, oh my God, he doesn't know what he's doing. Today, I would be like, oh my God, he's a virgin. I'm going to have fun with his ass.
like, he going to remember me. Huh?
I'm going to change his life.
Yes.
I mean,
what? That's funny as fuck, bitch. We almost 30. You fucking a virgin. What are you doing over there, Broja? What you doing? I said, what are you doing over there? We fucking virgins and we 30. Can you hear me?
Having a great time. What are you talking about?
You not, at first, it won't be because you'll be working too hard.
You know what? Right.
And then from what you said, you wouldn't enjoy working. I don't think you'd enjoy it as much as you think. The ego part of it would probably be like enjoyable because, like, oh, this dude gonna remember me forever. I'm the one he's gonna be telling stories about, and he's gonna compare every chick after that to me. But the actual you would be like, man, this shit is kind of boring. He don't put my hair right. He don't do this right.
We'll see.
If you,
to all you virgins out there,
oh God,
like if you
Creating
listen
Anarchy.
if you listen to what most men say, a lot of them say they don't even want women who are not experienced or not virgins because they don't know what to do. They have no experience. So it's like, in the same breath that they say they don't want a woman who has no experience, they will say
they don't want a woman.
Yeah, so it's like, what, like, what do y'all want?
You guys know what I think about a lot? You know how Dirk mentioned, you guys, Lil Durk in India, he mentioned her body count being so low. I think it was like 4 or something, 2 or 3, I don't know. It was very low. And he bragged about it to turn around and like cheat on her. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So what difference does it make? Like, I remember when we were on your panel, someone had mentioned the breakup statistic. It was like, I couldn't tell you because it was a while ago, but he basically was saying something like the women with the lower body counts, it was less likely for their relationship to crumble than the others.
Yeah, that was my boy, DA.
He was very, very intelligent.
Devil's advocate. Yeah, that's my boy.
But no, I mean, I guess he was into numbers. I'm not big on numbers because I believe that the world is bigger than those studies, right? So I believe that there are so many people that weren't studied and so many minds that weren't picked when it comes to those numbers. So I'm not big on it. While I do be like, oh, wow. And, I believe in them. I kind of just steer away from talking about numbers because, like I said, the world is bigger than that.
You need the context. I get it.
Yeah. But that's bullshit. Like, so because you only fucked 4 niggas, you're more likely to stay in a long committed relationship versus someone who fucked 15, 20.
But one thing you taking out of it is you leaving out of it. You're putting it on the woman. Like there's something wrong with the woman that makes her.
But he was talking about the woman No,
Yeah.
I'm saying the
No, I'm
statistic
saying,
period.
I said, but a lot of those breakups, because I think the statistic didn't identify who broke up the relationships, and a lot
Yeah,
of
he
them could
didn't.
be dudes being insecure and ended a relationship because they on some insecure shit, along with could be a woman who doesn't have the ability to really attach sex to emotion and what have you, and there could be some issues going on there. But I think it could go either way, to where the dude is like, and I can't deal with the fact that you had all these bodies and we live in this small town, and I know, we go to the store and I'm bumping into cats that you smashed or whatever. I just can't deal with it. I need to break up with you. I've heard about dudes doing shit like that, and I think a lot of those studies do make it seem like it's the woman's issue and not
over
the
the
man's
man.
issue. Yeah, and a lot of
Damn,
that.
imagine living in a city where it's like y'all like 1,000 deep, and she done had sex with like everybody at the corner store. That's I'd be mad as fuck too. Like, what? All your hoes like had sex
But
with
do you
my
love
partner?
her?
Yeah.
Do you love her? Are y'all vibing? Did y'all connect? Like,
It's
do
funny because
y'all have chemistry? Like,
I
But
dated a girl.
I think it boils down to pride for men. I think it's a pride and an ego
pride
thing for sure.
Pride is so bad, and ego is so bad for us sometimes. Like, that stuff will fuck everything up. Like, if you are vibing with a bitch and y'all are happy, say y'all been together 2 years before you even find out she was out there. A man will actually get mad. A man will actually like break up with you and or cause a fight or cheat because he feels salty. A man will do these things because he just found out you slept with everybody at the corner store 6 years
if
ago.
you do that, but he shouldn't have to find out 2 years from now, especially if
But
you're
I
finding
thought
out
we
from
weren't
somebody
talking
else.
about body count.
No, you can talk about past experiences and stuff like that. If you're an adult, you can have that adult conversation and stuff like that.
I prefer to, but I'm saying people were in the comments going off like, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about this. But then it comes out because buddy down the street was smoking with me and he told me this, and that. Like, oh, that was none of his business to share.
No, but I think that's different. That's different. Like, it's one thing to ask me my body count, but it's another thing to introduce. Like, for me to introduce you to somebody that I've had sex with. Like, if
for sure, but that's not what we're talking about.
I'm gonna definitely.
Or if I'm sitting there chilling with somebody and I don't know, and he's sitting up there sneaking in the back, and he's dropping all these jabs and like the shade, knowing that something that I don't know.
For sure, but
I think that's what the thing is. That's one of the things that, like, me and my wife, we had a discussion. It was like, you can talk about whatever on your podcast you want to, just don't bring up nothing I ain't know first. And that's the thing, and that's the discussions you got to be able to have. Is just be like, look, when I was out there, and I feel like this, and this is what I'm gonna tell my daughter, and this is what I tell like a lot of women that I talk to, is like, whatever you do, if you own it, can't nobody make you feel bad about it. If you like, if you try to hide it or it's like, if you own it, be like, yes, I was out there, I enjoyed myself, it's over, I'm past that phase. If you can rock with it, you can. If you can't, I understand. But that's not who I am. I did it because I was in a different phase of life. I own that shit. But if you like running away from it and, oh my God, there's a dude I smashed, let me run the other way or whatever like that, or let me hide this thing or whatever.
But let me ask you this with that being said, Damien, if you walk into the corner store with your wife and she fucked this guy 4 years ago, I don't know how long y'all been married, but I'm just putting numbers on it.
15.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So is she supposed to say, babe, I fucked him? Like, is she supposed to do that?
No.
Okay, so that's what that was like. That boils me back to what I said earlier about, like, you found out 2 years later we've been together and we're happy that I fucked 4 niggas that we just saw down the street at the corner store. I'm not gonna come out and tell you, I fucked all 4 of them.
No, there's a difference between, like, a dude coming up to you, giving you a hug, and be like, oh my God, you still look good. You look, you still look good and whatever.
Yes.
And then it brings up, well, wait a minute.
Then you say,
how do you know, buddy? And then then they'll be like, oh, me and him used to date back in blah, blah, blah. Okay. And just leave it at that. If a secure man would just leave it at that, an insecure be like, so y'all must have fucked. Or your brother, just like, then they want to get, that's the insecure dude. But if you just like, oh, I'm gonna keep it real, we dated, 2008, and it was what it is. I was like, what's a year, dude? Nope. Just a dude I dated for a month or so. Yeah. All right, then keep it moving.
So let me
I'm very open. Go ahead.
No, okay. So let me ask you this: did you and your wife have the the conversation
Body
about
count.
body count?
Yes, but it didn't happen organically. Like I would have liked it to happen. It happened because we've been out twice. Once been out because we were out and about. I was out there when I was young. I was ankle front, and it's been twice. Chicks have come up and like wanted to like give me a hug and not knowing because I was in the game and then I disappeared. I was like in like just out in them streets. I should just say because in the game like has a different connotation. I was out in them streets and then I
You was
wasn't.
outside, bitch.
Popped
I was
out with a
outside.
wife. Yeah.
And then no, before the wife. And then I
Oh.
left, and then I just was about me and my wife. And then like my boy would have like a birthday party, and I'd bring the wife and somebody who before they knew I was married could come up and give me a hug, kiss on the cheek, and it'd be nothing to me. It'd be like, oh yeah, that's what's up, But then people would come up to me, be like, oh my God, I'd be like, no, slow down, hold up, it's my
Yeah.
wife. Oh, my bad. You didn't have a wife. I didn't know you got married and blah blah blah. Congratulations, your wife is so pretty. That kind of stuff. And I just be
She's very
like,
pretty.
and then she would ask, thank you. She would ask, she's like, knowing you, I know something went down with y'all. I'm like, baby. And I just said this, just like this, baby. If we go
That's
out,
the alarm, baby. Like,
no.
no.
I tell her this. I said, I need to set a precedent to like save yourself any kind of brain damage, any kind of headache. Just assume I did, but you were the best of them all. So that's why you the U.S. got. That's what, just assume I did. Even if I did, just assume I did because it saves you the headache of trying to wonder and whatever like that. But
So you gave her number.
I don't even really know the number, so it's just like I can't give her a definitive number.
Give us a
but,
ballpark. We want to know your body count.
No.
I mean,
Somebody in the comments said he's outside. You are outside, Damien.
Yeah,
Don't play with us.
but you've heard the stories of how I got down and
Yeah.
like, some of the parties and situations I put myself into back when I was younger. So it's up there. It's a triple digit number. Just put it that way.
Wow,
And
you
it's
guys are
Wow.
gross. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You are high,
no, but the
Damien.
thing is, but hold up. And like I said, and the thing is, but how many unprotected I can count on less than I think it was 9 unprotected that I been with. It's
That's
like,
good.
I got that less than 2 hands.
3-digit numbers, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I'm saying. That's part of the in consideration that you have to take part of it. A lot of people like to make it black and white, but it's like, how many people have you not been safe with? How many people, you know what I mean? Like,
that's my thing.
I posted something. Yeah, I posted something earlier, and it was literally like the same men who want to know like your number, your body count, are the same men who haven't had a physical in like 10 years.
That's 100%
like,
true.
You know what I mean? You're worried about my body count, but when is the last time that you had, a test done? When is the last time you had a physical? I can have 5 partners and have an STD, and somebody who has 100 not have ever had an STD. It's all about being safe in the way
men
you
know
execute
that
it.
Women are more proactive when it comes to their health, full body health. So they gauge, they use, when was the last time
they depend on us.
Yeah. So what they do is they depend on when was the last time you did it? Oh, you done it? Okay, then you must be cool. I can just smash raw, whatever like that. So that's what they do instead of going and being proactive about themselves. That's one thing I think they need to step above.
I said to this guy one time, like, I was like, when's the last time you were tested? And he was like, when was the last time you were tested? I was like 2 weeks ago. Because it really was 2 weeks ago. And he's like, oh, mine was like 3 months. I looked him in his face. I said, you're lying. And he's like, all right, I am lying. But the girl I was fucking with, she got tested and starts like just moving all crazy. I'm like, nigga, you're dirty. Like, you was dependent on this girl. Like, no.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and that's unfortunate.
So confidently.
But
no, it's a thing for sure.
Yeah. It's so go ahead.
What do you consider a high body count?
I mean, that's relative. I just don't. I really don't think that way. I feel like, don't get me wrong. I want to know the mentality behind it. Like if you smashed 50 dudes, but you were just like some dumb chick that dudes could just trick into something, or you were insecure, so you did it to make you feel better about yourself. If there was some kind of dysfunction attached to it, then I'm more worried about that than I am. Oh, you know what? I just like sex. I was free. I didn't want to be attached to anybody. Like anything that you can like own then I'm less concerned about. But like, yeah, because that means you probably were safer. You probably took, precautions to make sure that if I like to be with, I don't like monogamy. I like to go out and explore and different men and yada yada yada. But I'm always safe and make sure I'm on point. Then I'm less concerned than, oh my God, I was in a phase where I had low self-esteem and I needed it to feel better about myself, because that shit can always creep back up in my relationship with you if I'm going to be in a relationship with you, and then you end up doing some dumb shit.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So do you think that the body count for a man versus a woman is equivalent? Like, do you think that it matters if a man has... No?
I can answer that right away, because like I said, it's men only have access to the sex from women that will allow them to. So you feel like if the roles are reversed, don't shake your head now, bro. That shit. It's just like if the if it's called, when men have it to where sex is a choice and not a chore, it's called the transfer of power. And it's rare that transfer of power happens, because when in the world of sex, women have all the power up front, and then it can kind of shift a little bit the longer the relationship goes, and the dynamic, if the man has money or a couple different things. But initially, it's... Let me finish the point.
I want to say this. You guys, when people answer this question, no, I'm not drunk. It's when people answer this question, they are thinking about women who are physically attractive and women who are pleasing to the eye. They're not thinking about the women who are outside of that realm, the women who are maybe find themselves not attractive, or that men may find themselves attractive. So just think about that before you answer the question, because you guys are thinking about social media, all these things, what you see a woman may be able to get as a good looking woman, but there's just amount of women in this world who don't find themselves, or that men don't find sexually appealing.
Well, hold on. That is false, because there's somebody who's going to find every woman sexually appealing because she's got a vagina. So that's what's appealing to us, is the fact that you're carrying what we covet more than anything on this planet. You're walking around. So pussy don't got no face. Yeah, nope. Exactly. I mean, because
so for you, pussy don't got no face.
I mean,
I feel like Damien.
Hold on. See, let me get it out. Let my
boy talk. Let him talk.
Yeah. So there have been a couple of butterfaces in the mix where it's just like, oh my God, her body is just banging out of this world, but I'm a hook up. But the women I settle down with, they got to be pretty in the face. If I'm waking, I got to be pretty in the face. That's a prerequisite.
Well, just to touch on your whole, it's easier for us to go find somebody to fuck. If y'all can't find somebody to fuck, y'all will find somebody to fuck. And when I say that, I mean y'all will go pay for it. So you can run up your body count at Motel 6 whenever.
Yeah, that's an expensive proposition if you're gonna sit there and say like, I'm gonna pay.
People will pay. People will do it. People will. People gamble all their money away. They'll throw it all the way.
But you hear what you're saying. A man has to show. It has to be some kind of exchange. It has to be. You have to give money, or you have to have the resources in order to do that. A woman can just walk into a bar.
Broke men figure it out too.
A woman walk into a bar and say, you know what, my man just broke up with me. I am horny. I'm pissed off. I'm upset. I got a van outside. Who wants to go in? Dude's gonna be jumping over themselves. Even if she don't even gotta look that great. Men will be jumping over herself to go to that van. A decent looking man, good looking man will walk up and say, you know what, same situation. I got a van outside. Who want to go? He's getting drinks thrown in his face. He's getting slapped. People are getting cussed out. That's what happened, because they know that no, you got to do more than what we have to do. It's not equal that way.
All right. So if that's your logic, right? Or if that's men's logic. So you guys want to devalue, well, not you guys, I don't want to speak like that, but men want to devalue women because of the amount of sex partners that they have had. However, men are willing to walk into the bar and just say, hey, take whatever's thrown at them. If anything, that devalues them as a person. You're willing to take whatever's thrown at you versus a woman who is only going to
y'all
take what she wants.
Nah,
Because
because
men,
we still got it.
no,
We still
Men
no,
got
are
it.
y'all still
whores. You
got
guys are
what?
just
You guys are
easy
easy.
creatures. Easy creatures. All I gotta do is look at you and wink.
Yeah, that's it. Like
And
you
men,
said,
we
and
gotta.
then you gotta have
And
the
what do the
face.
men gotta do? We gotta buy. We gotta come here dressed fly, smelling good, have a little money in our pocket, take you out, have a nice car parked outside. Gotta have a comfortable house for you to do it in. It's just like it's a lot of stuff that go along with
You're
dudes
gonna be
shifting the
surprised.
power, changing the power structure to where they have easy, where it's easy and not as much work. There's a whole lot to go along with that. Or they just gotta have a good buzz. Somebody gotta hit. They gotta smash the right one, and she's like, "Oh my God, he put it on me like crazy." And then women will gravitate because he's been pre-selected and he's been pre-approved by other chicks, and be like, "Oh, girl, yeah,
Pre-approved.
you need to, yes, girl." You know, they will. Then it becomes a little bit easier if you get that cosign from a woman up front.
So we're taking it back to the comment that Damien's outside.
Nah, Damien's not outside. Damien ain't been outside
Damien's
in
not outside. He is a committed
17
man to
years.
a beautiful woman.
He's been outside.
I was
Sorry,
outside,
no.
man. I put a tent up outside. You know, I was outside.
But okay, so
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, you go
I was
ahead.
gonna read a comment. Hensdog305 said, any one of y'all ladies can literally go on y'all phone right now, randomly pick a man's name, and they will have sex with you 99% of the time, and men cannot do that. I'm sorry for you guys.
But she says I'm the drunk one. She says I'm the drunk one, but she's over here laughing at that.
Yeah.
No, honestly though, okay, so do men cheat more than women? Yes. So then where's that statistic come into play then?
All right, well, hold on.
If it's so much easier for us to go out and find and have sex, how is it so easy for y'all? How is it so common for y'all to cheat
Hold on.
much?
I'm gonna just shut you down right now because men just get caught more.
No, men cheat more. Women cheat back.
Men get caught more.
I think women cheat back. I think it's like, oh, you cheating? Okay, we cheating. Like,
no.
But
I
will say I don't have a lot of female friends. I have very few, and you know I don't cheat. So, okay, you have a lot of female friends. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, hold on.
If she cheated first,
I got people I know.
If she cheated first, Damien, she was very, very unhappy, and she expressed her unhappiness, and he did nothing to get with it.
No,
so it's on him.
I think women. I've known women.
See how you did there? I see what you did there.
Yeah, I've known women that have cheated with a good man, and it was almost like a lot of women like it's sorry, like it's bad to say, but even they say if you're too nice to a woman, if you give her everything she wants, things like that, like sometimes it's too good for a woman, and she does step out for like the bad boy. I've known women that have cheated on a good man, so I don't think it's always, oh, he's doing something to make her unhappy.
Do you know more women that cheated on a good man or a man that cheated on a good woman?
I don't have a lot of friends, bro. So that's a dumb question.
It doesn't matter. Let's talk about it. Let's fucking talk about it. Which one do you know more of?
So realistically, the statistics for cheating is they did like a study of like, I think it was like 1,000 men and women, 1,000 women. And it was like admitted, this is people who admitted it. It was like 26% of men admitted like being unfaithful, but 22% of women did. So it was only 4% difference between the two.
You want to know something? Let me tell you about these statistics, Damien. That 22% of women were being completely honest. That 26% of men, about like 33% more, lied.
Yeah, okay.
It's only 22% women, and there's a big percentage of those men fucking lying. Let's talk about it.
Ask Brosia where she gets her statistics.
From her heart.
The world. I told you guys it's a big place. The world.
Hit you with that. Wait. I don't know for a fact, but I just know it's true.
Let me Damien, let me touch on this comment. Ashley Marie said Damien has some perfect connection today.
Oh yeah, I worked it out. My connection is A1 right now. I figured that out. The last time I struggled streaming with y'all. I apologize.
It's okay, but that episode was dope. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a fly episode.
Yeah, go watch our episode on Can I Get Some Podcast YouTube. Link in his bio.
Yeah, so it was.
He's Creating Anarchy's first interviewer.
Yeah.
So when they blow up, guys, you're gonna be able to say, Damien, can I get some podcasts?
Yes.
Was
Holler
the
at them
first
first.
one.
Yep.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we had a comment that said that women cheat sneakier than men.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah. Because
I
we're
think it's really,
smarter. It's not because we're
Women,
sneakier. We're smarter.
like I said, men cheat more and recklessly. Women cheat just the same, but smarter
Smarter.
and bigger. Like I said, like how did Chris Rock said it perfect. Men be like, oh, a men's like, nah, I didn't sleep with her. Women's is it's your baby. You know, it's like you know, that's the difference
Yeah.
between the stories that men are just like, you know.
well, I think you touched on the topic earlier though. You were like, women cheat, and the men that she cheated with was like, okay, cool, like I got to hit that, whatever. But when men cheat, there's emotions involved for the women that they cheated on their woman with.
Yeah.
So I think that's how men do
I
get
think
caught.
the
'Cause it's more of a
misconception.
relationship. Go ahead. Bitch, don't look at me like that.
No, I stopped. I was like, go ahead. I was not trying to cut you
No,
off.
I think that's what it is. I think that like women are more emotionally involved, so men have to carry on some type of relationship with a woman in order to gain that access. So that's how they get caught. It's the text messages, the her texting him, whatever. Like if a woman goes up to somebody and hits it and quits it, she hits it and quits it. He's okay with it. So
The
that's
reason, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you this, and I'm about to spill some shit straight from the men's handbook, and the men out there gonna be like, dude, why are you telling the secrets? Is like the women, a lot of times, the reason a lot of times women get away with it is because dudes' egos won't allow them to believe that their woman would do it because their egos are so inflated in the situation. Like, not my woman.
This not
You know,
yeah.
I'm putting it down good, or I'm doing this or that. I'm this, I'm that. She ain't gonna do that to me, and that won't even let them entertain the idea. So that's why women can get away with it a lot more often because the dudes ain't looking for it. It's like men, unless it has to be something that was right in their face, or they have to be like had PTSD from previous relationships to be like, let me go on their phone and stuff like that. But if it's none of that, no signs of that, no history of it, a lot of times a dude's ego won't even let him entertain the idea that she could be out there scratching with somebody else.
I bet, Damien, I don't know if you dabbled into this statistic. I bet that the women who cheat, the higher number is they were unhappy, communicated it, and nothing changed. And granted, at that point, you can leave. But I'm saying if we're going to talk about cheating, I bet that that's what that was. I do.
Or they picked the wrong guy who didn't have the communication skills that what they needed because of other things. He was good looking, he was handsome, he had money, and then it ended up where they realized that that wasn't enough, and then they weren't happy, and they might have tried to communicate it like
I'm
you
talking
said,
about
but
the
the dudes didn't
higher
have the
number.
ability. Okay, the dudes didn't have the ability to understand and give you what you needed, even though you was asking for it because they had no frame of reference. And then you was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna go find it someplace else.
So wait, let me
Sometimes it
ask you,
happens.
do you guys think that men that cheat are unhappy?
Nah, they just greedy.
You think they're greedy? You don't think that men who cheat are also unhappy?
Sometimes, but
And
they just
in
greedy.
some senses, like, and there's women who cheat without being unhappy. It's just the opportunity struck. There's different scenarios, but I'm talking about majority. And I think,
Yeah.
like he said,
Numbers, like overall
the
numbers.
majority of men who cheat, I think that they are greedy, like he said.
Like you said, opportunity. Yeah, opportunity.
Yeah, immature. Like a lot of dudes want to make sure they still got it.
I've heard that
Immature,
before.
insecure, greedy. You know, those are some of the things that why they do it. You know, and like it's. I want to ask you a question. Like now I guess we're talking about infidelity or whatever now, as far as relates to body count. Is like,
Yeah.
what is more detrimental in your eyes, an affair or cheating with multiple chicks? Like like the Tiger Woods way of doing it, or the Bill Gates way of doing it, where he was just like, I got this chick, I've been smashing her for 14 years, she
Oh,
gonna be around.
if you have an affair, I can't get with an affair. I can't get with you loving on somebody the way you loved on me. It's one thing. I don't like cheating, but I feel like it happens to everybody. If it's going to happen, I needed to have been a fuck. Even if it was a couple fucks over just 1 3-year affair. I can't bear that. I'm too My
So you
Virgo
rather,
rising would not let me deal with that. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
about me. Like, do not.
so so you're like more into it should be like a sexual gratification versus a emotional gratification.
100%,
Yeah.
1000%.
I
Oh my
agree.
Yeah.
God.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
If you're
Yeah.
having little chit chats with this woman and texting her on the sly and stuff like that, I'm completely like, I am withdrawn entirely, and we cannot do this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I could never bear
If
that.
well, little chit chats and stuff, like I guess I think men have to do that in order to like gain access. But if it's an actual like relationship, like you said, like you're gaining emotional, and it's like years going on, weeks, even weeks. Like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like,
You
if
having this
it's
girl think that she has a chance to be in my shoes, and that is an
yeah,
issue.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's probably why she's standing around too, because you've told her that she gonna have that. Just keep playing your
exactly.
position, and you're gonna have
Yep.
the number one
Yep.
spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Well, I'm gonna have to jump off with y'all. I really appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure chopping it up with y'all. It was a good
Yeah.
topic, and I appreciate y'all point of view. Like,
Thanks for joining us.
we're
We appreciate
for
your
real.
it's all good. It's all good.
We
Anytime you
always
have a,
love having you, Damien. So
Yeah.
thank you for
anytime you have a
joining.
topic you think that you think I'll be right for, I'd be more than happy to give my 2 cents or whatever. But y'all
Definitely.
enjoy the rest of y'all night and have somebody else come here and get another
Yeah, let's see
point of
someone
view
else
from
who
the
wants to
cat.
talk some shit and say some dumb shit. No,
All
I'm
right,
just
y'all.
kidding.
I'll holler.
Bye, Damien.
All right, you have a good night.
I want to touch on Abby Nano's comment. He said, because you're smarter. This is referring to me saying women are smarter. Because y'all are smarter, not because y'all don't want to look bad. Men do it. They admit to being imperfect and fucking up. And women like to seem perfect when they got bodies in the closet. I'm sorry. From my experience witnessing and my personal experience, I know women who come out and say, yeah, I did more, and or even
And
let their
men who
guilty
are gonna be
conscience beat
caught.
them up. So yeah, so much that they just confess without being questioned. Versus a man, you'll come to him and catch him, bitch, and he'll be like, no, and he'll like test your intelligence and make up some sort of lie that sounds stupid as fuck and basically call you stupid to your face. So I highly disagree with that comment, and I had to touch on that.
Yeah, I have to say the same. Like, I know women who hold more guilt with cheating and confess, or there's some sort of initiating the conversation to bring up that, versus men. Men have to get caught red-handed in order for them to admit, and it's like red-handed type shit. Because if you bring just like one little thing, they'll try to like bring a whole circle in the conversation, beat around the bush. You gotta have like
solid
print.
Yep.
Yes.
It's like throw it in his face type shit, like for sure. We definitely got off topic, but I guess they kind of go hand in hand with what Damien was talking about. But to just like sum it all together, so your take on body counts is that it's circumstantial based on how you were carrying yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that for me to say body count doesn't matter would be me lying. But me saying that it does matter wouldn't be me delivering the right message. It's something to take into consideration, and that's just how I feel. Because if this person is like hypersexual or just needs to have sex constantly, I think that's something that is a big problem in a relationship and commitment. However, I don't think it should be a deal breaker. That's how I feel about it. And I think that's like where a lot of people get it wrong. And I've said this many times throughout the conversation is people try to make it very much black and white. Men try to use it as, again, women lose their value, this and that. No, it's okay for your opinion, what you want in a partner. However, that does not mean it goes for all women, all men, all people. If you don't want to partner with a high body count, good for you. Doesn't mean you have to devalue every woman who does have a high body count.
No, big facts. That's how I see it too. It's definitely not a deal breaker for me. I think maybe even less of a deal breaker for me than it is for you. Just because I feel like it wouldn't even matter any of the other things in the picture if we are connected in a way that I feel close to you. I feel like this could work. I am, I guess, willing to ignore certain things for a connection, like if it feels real.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
hypersexuality thing is So like a lot of people don't take that into account when choosing a partner. You don't even know that you could be getting yourself into something like that, and it could just be happening up under you.
Yep.
So I do
But
feel
that's
you.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Like if you have a high body count because you're having like 6 partners in a month because you can't take things into
Because you could always
consideration.
go back to either 1 or 2 of those partners. You don't gotta
Yeah.
go to 6 different ones. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you learn from your sexual experiences, and not even that. Like, people don't realize, like, when you do have, you know, multiple sex partners, and I'm not talking about like high numbers or whatever, just in general, you learn a lot from these people that you are engaging with, and it's not only sexual. It's you learn game, you learn what people are trying to put on you. You know, it's bigger than what it is. And at the end of the day, a lot of people like to say we're animals. We act on instincts and all these things. Okay, so for animals, women can fuck just the way men want to fuck.
Yeah, we're all animals, bitch.
Yeah, you see
Manny
an animal
Mason said I
named
lost
Pete.
count in junior high. Junior high,
That's wild.
boy.
Junior high.
Junior high. You know, but he was the one earlier saying, "Oh, what the fuck did he say?" I tried to read his comment, but I lost it. It was something about we don't count and shit like that. But yeah, we're animals too, and if we want to have sex, we should be able to have sex the same way you guys could. So if I end up single and want to fucking
Whoever.
5 people in a year,
Bro,
bitch,
you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna fucking do it.
Bro, you're gonna do it. So we heading out with a shot?
Yes.
Let's do it. Thank you everybody for joining tonight. This bitch ain't even got it poured up.
Okay. Thank you, HenDog305. Just to make this clear, both of y'all body counts ain't high, but the count does matter. We respect your opinion. We think that body counts do not matter. Do we agree there?
Yeah, I don't think it matters. Like, if I could say overall, it doesn't matter. It matters only because it definitely somebody thinks about it, but I don't want to get into details. I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter about a person's value.
To sum it up, it doesn't really matter to you, or
it doesn't. No, it doesn't matter.
But period. Cheers to creating anarchy, to high body counts, to women being equal to men. Let's go.
Yes. Woo, see you guys next Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Yes, thanks for joining us, guys. Tune in tomorrow so you can pick next week's topic, and we will see you then.